How biased is the BBC?
I don't think the BBC is, but I don't think BBC journalists are biased. I think in the independence referendum, I think there was an institutional issue almost with the BBC to some extent. I don't think it was down to individuals or journalists, but it felt sometimes as if the BBC was on one side of the debate. But that's then. I hope things have moved on from that. Journalists should never be partial. I don't think it should be a case of them trying to do any favours to the independence cause. I think it should be a case of quality, impartial journalism. And I've got great respect for BBC journalists because I think by and large they do a good job.
What do you mean by kind of institutional bias? How did that manifest itself and how does that come to be?
I think, and I would exclude largely BBC Scotland from this, but I remember doing interviews in the latter stages of the independence referendum where some of the network correspondents came to Scotland to cover it, and it was almost as if they hadn't been keeping up, and you were having to sort of go back to square one on issues that people in Scotland were very informed about. And I think there was also, and as I say, I don't think this was in the minds of individual journalists, but as an institution, perhaps there was a sense that the BBC, given its place and role and status in the British media, felt that its own future was somehow caught up in the independence referendum.